As a country, we owe it upon ourselves to choose the best individuals to take the leadership of the country. And as individuals, we owe it upon ourselves to be our best in order to lead. Good morning. This is Special Influencer Africa. Welcome to morning's presentations. And today, being the last day of the month of June, we are closing the month of June. We are only past the 50% of the year. The other 50% may come very rapidly to us because there are so many changes that we are seeing coming across. The impact of the budget, the impact of draft analysis in the country, and draft-related cases. Remember, we are hugely impacted in Kenya by issues of draft. And our leadership have taken a position that they're saying, let us take lifestyle audit in order to establish who is who. And probably, who knows, even very big names are going to fall down. Because when it comes to, in a country like Kenya, when you start talking of people who earn money which are not on the payroll, well, that is historical. For so many years, people have been getting money or receiving money which are not on the payroll. I remember as early as 1970s, Mzee Jomo Kenyatta, the first president of the Republic of Kenya, made it upon himself to make a pronouncement that one man, one job. When it became so obvious that every person, the very moment he wakes up, is to would be to go run and get a job. And the very moment he gets a job, his biggest challenge would be how to run out of that office and set up a side business so that 20% of his time is spent in the office and 80% of his time is spent on his own private business. This has been our history. And with that happening, and with that as a society allowing that one man, two jobs, allowing that culture of they always call it what? The culture of hustling. That somebody works for 3 hours in the office and the rest of the day he is hustling on the road. That culture has led now to a situation where somebody looks at the office as a quarry to be preyed upon. He looks at the office as somewhere where he should get instant money, or instant resources, or instant influence in order to influence his main business, which is outside the office. So it doesn't come as a surprise that over time, corruption has developed in every office, even the highest office in the land. Corruption trickles in very easily because the thought of 20% of my time should be spent on the work that I'm employed to do, and 80% should be employed on how to use my position as an employee to make money. As long as that mentality persists, as long as that thinking continues to be with us, ladies and gentlemen, we cannot expect a different results. Really, the only way to now stem graft from the root in Kenya is to do one thing, is to make it very clear that it's one man, one job, and anybody who gets employed, especially in the public or service, anybody who gets employed in the public service signs an order to the effect, that's a commitment, an oath to the effect that they're not doing anything on the side. That at all circumstances, they will devote 100% of their time working in the office. Because if they had a side business, then that concept of private companies, I remember that private companies established that long time ago, but on what they call conflict of interest. What do I mean by that? That if you're in a private company, you are always signing that commitment to the effect that if it's a bank, you will not lend money on the side. If it's a shoe-making company, you cannot be a cobbler on the side. Anything which you do which looks to be in direct competition with your employer is X, a big X, when you're in a private company. But even in the private company, they really do not say They really do not commit themselves to say what happens if you are doing something which is totally different from your employer. In fact, nobody cares about that. And in public service, whether it's in conflict or not in conflict, it's open. It's open. So that's true. As long as that culture persists, that somebody can do something on the side, especially when you are in public service, then the likelihood of this person using his position to influence the flow of tenders, to influence the flow of contracts to companies where he or his alliances are part of, that situation cannot be ignored, that situation cannot be modified. So as we're going to towards the end of the year, we are looking at the closure of the end of June, and the beginning of July. And we are saying this training process right now is assuming a new direction. It's assuming a new dimension. If you look at the way we have been doing presentations of late, we started with fully reading the book and discussing it fully from end to end, reading one chapter or whatever, then discussing the contents of that particular book. But right now we are pulling ourselves to a level where we are looking at the abstract ideas, that beyond reading the document, what else can we relate to, which still takes us on the path of transformation. Today's topic, first part of it we have just mentioned, it's about how to deal with the economy. It's about the impact which the economy of the country has suffered as a result of massive graft. Ladies and gentlemen, when you're looking at 10 billion shillings lost in graft, that's massive figures. When you look at another 1 billion or 2 billion again taken through graft, that's something significant. It's something that is worth talking about. But the main thing is that we are concerned as individuals that as a country, the country relies on the best individuals in order to push them forward. And so it is incumbent upon us to become the best versions of ourselves. The big question is, are you the best version of yourself? How do you become the very best version of yourself? By training. The daily exercises that we go through discussing chapter and chapter on a particular book are no waste of time. We have looked at the 13 principles of success, and you have made good, substantial response, substantial progress also on the study of the 13 principles of success. And we are saying that is just one book. Sooner or later we move to the next. Sooner or later we move to the next. My urge is even beyond what we normally study. As we close the day, let the day, your day begin. Take time, get another book and start reading. Because we are saying that if we can read one book a month, we have 12 months in a year. If we can read one book a month and you just schedule it and you say whether it's a novel or a book of encouragement or a what, like get new knowledge, knowledge which was not previously with you, build new knowledge every month, every new month. If we kept up that spirit, if we kept that momentum, by every end of the year we are 12 steps ahead. Yeah, so there's no period which is lost, because every period is a moment of transformation, it's a moment of progress. Read books. Number 2, attend to seminars. The virtual seminars that we normally hold through this process is a very, 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 very essential part. We are soon also starting public one-to-one interactive seminars. We look forward to you. We have always encouraged people log on and register at www.passioninfluencer.blogspot.com. That is our blog at the moment, and we are really starting to share information about that. Among other things, we are looking at sharing of books. We have several books in form of electronic, in the electronic form, and we want all of us to take the opportunity, take advantage by logging in on that our blog, so that you register as a member, and by registering as a member, it gives you access now to be periodically sent the link to the books which are on free offer. Because that's basically we'll be doing. We'll have registered list of members. Every week we will have a list of subscribers who are sent a link